DFS, Willie Walls.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends, and I'm with my friends Willie Walls in his very stylish apartment there, and the Great Swame. Guys, Trevor won 100K last week. We have to win 100K, 101K this week. Not that I don't wish it on him, but we got to keep up. Willie, are you ready to win?
Yeah, so first of all, Trevor, congratulations to you, man. Job well done. You've always been a contrarian type of guy. And I just want to congratulate you on winning that money. And it goes to show you that single Main Slate can be a winner. Trevor just led the way, and I just want to tell you, I'm very proud of you, Trevor. Great job. Job well. I'm standing at attention, Trevor. Job well done there, sir. Appreciate you.
Hey, Doc, here's the truth. Trevor has been playing his behind off. It's not just a single game slate, as Willie knows. He has been playing his behind off. I would say the streak has been going on for quite a while. Obviously, you can't win every week, but I mean, as far as being consistent, Trevor's been consistent. He's playing well. That's why I'm always tuned into his shows. I look at his article. Trevor is the man. You trust in Trevor. Good job, Trevor.
I do trust in Trevor, and he's good in baseball. He's good in the NFL. He's good. Smart player. All right, and you know what? We talked about this a little bit before we got started. He doesn't always follow exactly the rules, right? Just because an optimizer says it, it's a lot of what we see, right? I know Willie does that same thing too. Swami, I know you do too. So if we know a play is bad, we're going to tell you a play is bad. So let's get to the good plays this week, guys. Dolphins and Falcons might be the best play on the slate. He's a man named Bijan Robinson, Swami. I can't imagine. If I did 100 lineups, he'd be in 101 of them.
Doc, I think I'm down on that same hill with you. I think this week, especially with Algiers, I know you all mentioned, I think on the first look, that it was a little bit of concern that he might be in there, maybe taking some of that. But with him not quite being healthy, you could see that, maybe Robinson gets a couple more. You already liked him. Now I think we got to love him. I think, Bijan is in a great spot. It was also concerned that, hey, if Mr. Penix don't play, will we like our favorite cousin? But anyway, but to your point, Doc, I really like Robinson. I think he's a lock for me. And I can't think, other than JT, who I know we get to, I can't think of a better play this week.
Is there anybody else, Swami? I'm staying away from Drake London. I'm staying away from Kyle Pitts. I do like Algier a little bit on FanDuel, a little bit. Is there anybody on the Falcons that you would trust besides Bijan?
I think Mr. London has proven that he's a man of interest every week. I think the targets and his ability to probably, have a huge game is something that should be of interest to you. But right now, you just see this looks like Bijan.
Willie, can we find anybody on the Dolphins side of the ball? Jalen Waddle, my man King to Icon mentioned Malik Washington, because we know that Darren Waller is out, right? And that guy's a Chan. Or do we just go Bijan, we go Atlanta's defense, and move on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that Mr. Cousins get in there somehow, and then I'll be interested in a couple of receivers. But if Penix is someone, no, thank you. I'm not doing that. I think Bijan is a great play. I'm not going to have as much Bijan as you guys going to have, because I like a couple of other backs that's in the backfield. I'm going to be playing Mr. Taylor.
You're fading Bijan Robinson?
I'm not fade. I didn't say fade. I'm not going to have as much as you. He will. I will have him probably in about 40 to 50%. That's what I'm saying.
All right,
that's all. I mean, if Algier is out, they'll be different. But man, sometimes I just don't like the touches that this Algier did, especially in the goal line. With the 10 yards in, you understand?
Algier is truly questionable, but I believe he goes. But if Algier doesn't go,
well, then I have to. I will change my mind, because there would be nobody else getting in the way. But he gets in the way to me sometimes. I don't like him getting those important touches at the 10-yard line. I know with Mr. Taylor, he getting everything. You know what I mean? So That's important to me because I don't need him. Instead of you getting he could have 23 points, Taylor gets those 35 when he gets the third touchdown. Then they will give Algier one, and I don't like that. I'm
Okay,
greedy.
but King to Icon just mentioned Barkley. So let me just talk about that for a second. You said Algier could steal from Robinson. Doesn't Hurt steal from Barkley?
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, listen, I understand about Mr. Barkley, but Mr. Barkley is on he's on suspension. He's on that. Barkley's got to beat my ass because he's on pause, but he's on the suspension.
All right, Swami, let me ask you this. What percentage of lineups will have Taylor and Bijan Robinson together?
Mine or the field?
Both.
I think the field might not have as much as I will for sure. I feel like they both going to be pretty high on. I think JT is probably going to be the highest on, rightfully so. And then right behind him, it should be Mr. Robinson. If I had to put him on something, I'm not your ownership guy, Doc, but I'm going to say respectively probably 30 and 38%. Like I think that much, or 28 and 38. They should be about somewhere around there with JT commanding the most. But for me, they'll probably be very close to locked it for me. And that's 100%, not like Willie's lock.
I feel the same way. If I'm going to lose this week, there's only two running backs that I can see on top of that. I can see Derrick Henry, who I think is going to have a great week.
Yeah.
And Rashad White, who I think is going
There you go. See, there you go. That's one of my favorite in a great game thing. And I just think that, especially if I'm going to play Lamar.
Oh, I'm playing Lamar.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying, having those backs there. That's why I'm gonna have a lineup when I do have both backs when I'm fading Henry, because I'm gonna have White. Now, if you talking about for me, White and Taylor's they almost locked in for me in this matchup.
Locked in, right? But yeah. I mean, look, I could figure out a lineup with White, Taylor, and Bijan Robinson. I'm good with all three.
Oh,
Doc, can we go back to a comment I just heard? Did you say fading Henry?
Well, Willie said fading Henry.
I didn't say if I don't play Henry. Henry's going to be in a lot of my lineups.
Oh, okay. I thought you said fade Henry.
No. Hell no.
Can we agree that there's 4 great running backs this week?
Yes.
4, and you can only play 3.
Right. So
I'm sorry, TV land. I'm not putting White up there with them 3.
That's a good game environment, Swami.
It is very good. It's very good. But I'm cautious only because of where I have those other 2 guys for sure. Then it's kind of Henry, who's a close second. It's a little bit of a space for me, and then White. He's just not up there with JT. No,
agreed.
But see, but what I like about it, close game. I think it's going to be a close game. New Orleans is at home, and man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I like some other pieces in that game too. And that's why I said, listen, because I think Mr. Olave is going to be in most of our lines. So, because, so we'll get there when we get there. But I'm just telling you, it's
just that White is more touchdown dependent. He's only rushed for over 60 yards twice.
That's the problem. You're not getting the 100-yard bonus at all.
Yeah.
But against this team, you might get, you remember he had 3-4 tough matchups in a row. That's what I'm saying. These guys are not easy. So now, if everybody's thinking the way you're thinking, he's getting 90-something%, and he's getting the catches. He will get the catches in this game. So I think the catches group can make up a difference. He's getting 87% of the snaps.
Willie, you're going to say that I'm crazy, but maybe I am. Could Sean Tucker get a cheap touchdown? He got one the other week.
Yeah, but Tucker's been only getting 7 or 8 snaps. If he gets it in the snap, it just happened to work out that way.
All right, fair enough. All right, Jets, Bengals. Woo, hide the wife and kids. Don't let them watch this bad boy. Sauce Gardner is out. Garrett Wilson is out. I mean, the only way to slow down the Bengals offense now with Joe Flacco would have been with Sauce Gardner. Swami, is Joe Flacco, and could we double stack Flacco with Chase and Higgins?
It's a very interesting stack if you double with Chase and Higgins. Obviously, in that, you were going to have to probably play Henry or White and probably not be able to play both running backs. But I think it is a very, very Interesting stack this week. If there's any concern, because the Jets, I don't think they've decided who's going to play a quarterback. And the only concern is if they're even going to show up a little bit on the road here in Cincinnati.
The only way Tyrod doesn't start after what Woody Johnson did is if Tyrod can't stand, right? Because of the knee. Right. Because they embarrassed Justin Fields so badly. I don't know how you start him again. Right. Willie, what are you doing in this game?
What did Woody do? What did he do? What did
Woody Johnson?
Yeah.
He basically said Fields stinks and he's not a real quarterback and they want to move on from him.
Yeah, Well, if Woody says yes, sir, Mr. Woody, he will be out to. I will give him. Wow. Yeah.
Is this a Chase 2 touchdown game, Willie?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, with no sauce. Yeah. Man, I mean, this is where you do those little get those bets in with Chase, for 2 touchdowns. I listen. And listen, let me tell you something. I always like Flacco. Swame's getting on board now, but it's a hard thing for him because there are some players that I just have a hard time playing. But Mr. Flacco has earned my respect. He really has. He's balled up. Go ahead.
Don't we feel though that this game could be done by halftime?
Yes.
And Flacco is now handing the ball off to Chase Brown. Maybe it's a Samaje Perine. Maybe even Taj Brooks comes and plays the fourth quarter. Like they could shut this bad boy down when it's 30-0.
Exactly.
Yeah, they could, but you don't go by that because remember how we thought that before on some other games, and then that game ended up being close. You just never know.
Sometimes that's an anomaly, though. I mean, Tyrod's banged up. Garrett Wilson's banged up. Taylor's banged up. Brees Hall's banged up. They got to fight with something. You got they out there with slingshots.
Listen, I'm just saying. I get it. I mean, but I'm going to be interested in more receivers that I know that's going to be in close games.
Right. So I think what JS said is right, and I do believe Bengals defense is sneaky, whether or not he plays or not.
Agreed.
All right, let's move on to Browns and Patriots. This is a game that nobody's going to want. See, Willie's got that look. That look is like the furrowed brow. I'm not playing this crappy game. But you can't really run on these two teams. The only way to score on these two teams is in the air. Cleveland plays a lot of man coverage. What am I hearing? Stephon Diggs in man coverage. Maybe a little Butte in man coverage. Could Drake May throw for 2 touchdowns, Swami?
No, thank you. I think I'm going to let you and Willie have this with my friend. I'm staying from this one. You might be able to dig a play out of the mud. But I'm going to let you guys have.
Really? Can we buy into this, or is it a no?
No. Now that you say thank you, no thank you. No thank you. I'm out. I agree with Swami 100%. Not only no, but hell no. I am not going to this game. No thank you. I respect both defenses. You know what I mean?
I do too, but listen, they're not out. They're beatable by the pass, not by Gabriel, but Drake May. You're telling me that Drake May couldn't throw for 3 touchdowns this week?
He could, but is that going to be enough on this slate?
Yeah, he could.
It's probably not going to be enough because of the price, right? What is Drake May? Drake May is going to be 6,200. I mean, I can get Lamar for 68.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Diggs. He's kind of like but nestled between some guys in better games.
Right.
But you like him though. He's Diggs. He's playing well.
All right. Giants and Eagles. This game is a little of interest. The Eagles were embarrassed the last time these two teams played. No A.J. Brown. So this feels like Devonta Smith all day, maybe Dallas Goedert. Saquon did nothing the last time these guys played, but I can't imagine he's going to do nothing again, Willie. Can the Giants keep this competitive? What are you thinking here?
They can keep it competitive. Listen, that quarterback is the real deal. And just think if Neighbors was there.
Ooh.
My goodness. I'm going to tell you something. He makes everybody better. Okay, so, man, he's a quarterback. I mean, the guy that for me that's going to be the lock button for me most likely in this slate is Devontae. I gotta play Devontae Smith. You know his usage is up without AJ Brown. Listen, when AJ Brown is not playing, listen, this guy I think he's one of my lock buttons. He is going to be one of my guys that I have in like about 98% of my lineups. I learned not to put anybody in 100 because if they pull a hammy, I've been getting these hammy injuries, these concussions. So, but I love Devontae Smith in this game. I think Devontae is a lock button for me.
Are you out on Saquon?
I'm not going to say I'm out for the respect of Saquon. I might get him in a lineup, but he's got to beat me. He's got to beat me. I am not saying Saquon.
All right, Swami, let me give you a name, and I don't want you to vomit in your mouth, okay?
All right.
What if Jahan Dotson for $3,000? $3,000. You get him on the cheap. No A.J. Brown. This guy's going to play. Devonta's not cheap at all. You got to pay a lot for him. Is there a value for Goddard? Is there a value for Dotson? Or do we just say, listen, it's Devontae Smith. He's a great buy. Nothing else.
I like Mr. Goddard a lot. I liked him more with A.J. Brown because I felt like the attention was going to be on the outside. He was going to work the middle, very similar to what he did last game, 10, 11 targets, that kind of deal. And then they still had their hands full with Barkley, and so Goddard became the man who was benefiting from everybody else getting all the attention. But in this game, without A.J. Brown, you see that Devontae is probably getting more and more of the looks, especially going deep or when, the game is getting a little tight and they got to kind of make a play. So he's having a bit of, a coming out party. So as you know, I've been talking about him a few weeks, but even when Willie didn't like him, don't act like you're on the bandwagon now. As my good friend from Jodeci would say, Devontae Swang. Anyway, Doc, so here's the key. I think the key is going to be if you double stack it and you go Devontae and Dotson, or if you double stack it and go Goddard and Devontae. But it's just
that's the right double stack, Goddard and Devontae.
I feel like that's where we could, because even I heard some people talking about Mechie. I think you probably reach a little bit too much. But Dotson, I think he's in a great spot. He's got a good match. He's a man of interest at 3,000. I would really, really have to consider him, especially to make a lot of work.
If we're going to do our lineup, Swami, where we're going with 3 expensive running backs, I'm going to need a cheap receiver or 2. I'm going to need a cheap bastard.
Right.
And I think everybody, and we'll talk about this later, there will be a guy down in Texas, Houston, Texas, that everybody will be in on.
As they said, Noel. Anyway, I know where you're going with this, Doc.
Hey, but can I say something? I think I'd rather play gonorrhea and chlamydia over Dotson. No, thank you.
All right. I've never seen them on the field, but I know they do exist. Okay. Here's one that's really interesting, guys. Really interesting. The Bills and Panthers. So let me tell you why this is interesting. First, everybody knows you can run on the Bills, right? And so Carolina's going to want to run. If that's the case, Vegas has the Bills at almost 27 points. Vegas is screaming at us, play the Bills. But we've watched the Bills look like flaming poo-poo the last couple of weeks. Is Josh Allen in play? Is Khalil Shakir in play? Is Dalton Kincaid in play? Willie, talk to me.
I'm going to be honest with you, Doc. They are in play, but not in play for me. So listen, I'm going to respect Mr. Allen. I thank Mr. Allen. And because Mr. Coleman, Shakir, Secure, Sapir. You know what I mean? They just, Goddard, not Goddard, but man, listen.
Palmer's out.
Huh?
Palmer's out.
So?
Just like means more for Shakir and more for
it's Michael Jackson looking for you. He still gives it to somebody that we don't even know.
Why is Vegas telling you 27 points, Willie, and you're not listening?
Hey, they can tell me all they want, just like they've been telling. Vegas told me about the running back for Hall last week. They told me about him, but guess what? No, thank you. So, like I said, on this one right here, I'm going to be very concentrated, and unfortunately, they didn't make the cut.
Swami, is Willie wrong here, or is Willie very right?
Doc, you know Willie wrong. Coming off a bye week, I think the Bills are going to hang foot in Carolina's behind, just like the good folks over in Vegas is trying to tell us. I think what Willie is saying more, though, Doc, is the expense of Allen and the risk of trying to pick who he's going to go to that's the risk reward I think he doesn't want any part of. But Allen going, I think naked or even maybe with that's if Kincaid is out. You know, you got an option there as well with Mr. Knox, and obviously I think Shakir's in a good spot. I wouldn't be mad at Cook as well. I feel like they are one of those sneaky stacks. You have to consider them. Allen is somebody who could probably have 4 or 5 touchdowns this week. Don't be surprised. And I want to go back to something else that Willie said real quick, because he just poo-pooed on Mr. Dotson. His last game, week 18, I think it was last year. I think he had 11 targets, something like 90 yards, a bunch of catches. You better stop just poo-pooing these guys. You better give him a second look.
Look, at $3,000, well, if he goes 5 for 40 and a touchdown,
give him another look.
Absolutely. Listen, when I try to sneak all those 3 big backs in, he might make a lot of it too, but he's not a core, is what I'm saying.
But the Bills are a play, and I would look. I think it's even contrarian, Doc, as you always would say. Your good buddy said, "Hey, if you try to go with the leverage, going with the higher price quarterback,
right,
and just set yourself up for success."
All right, let's get to your team, Swami. The Bears against the Ravens. I think I'm a little delusional. I am so in on the Ravens. I could see a stack with Lamar, Henry, and Zay Flowers, and I can ride that off into the sunset this week. Because if the Ravens don't win this week, in my mind, it is OVER. Over.
Yeah, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my neck for a second. So first, I'm going to give the Bears their props. Their defense has been putting up some fantasy numbers. They've been intercept, sack, fumble. They're filling the stat sheet. And, you know, when I thought we were going to have Cooper Rush back there, I said, man, I was licking my chops at the Bears defense. But now that we got Mr. Lamar coming back in, I think the Ravens offense gets on track. I think it sets up for King Henry to have a huge day. They'll probably put up 30 or 40 points against these Bears. And it'll probably be, you know, one of those get right games for the Ravens. On the other side, I could make a case for maybe Loveland or maybe a Donze or something like that too. So I'm not mad if you think that, especially if the Ravens are up big. So I will want some piece of this game. But for me, I'm taking Henry just all day, because I think you don't want Lamar having to drop back a whole lot, just coming back with a bad wheel.
Willie, I like Loveland. I like a Dunze. But I have a larger question for you. Are you the type of fantasy DFS player who will go with Lamar and Henry and just say, I'm going to get all of the Ravens touchdowns? Or do you like to generally split?
I will read a lineup that I got that in there that I'll give to the fans at the end of the podcast, that I got Lamar and Henry, because I'm going to have that, but I'm also going to have more Henry than Lamar. You know, I love Lamar in this game. And listen, Henry hasn't been $6,000 since in 6 years.
Right.
You know, it's been 6 years since it's been $6,000. That, to me, that's disrespectful. Okay, it's very disrespectful. And I think I do think the Bears can put up some points too. So that's why I like the players in this game. And I think Lamar is going to have a point to prove. And I just think that, you know, Lamar, Zay Flower, he's too inexpensive. The Ravens, they have dropped their prices. They have lost their mind, because I think they thought Cooper Rush was still playing. I don't know what they were thinking, but this is the time to take advantage of it. And this is why I'm not going to have, when I say it about Josh Allen, is I just think Lamar's he's in a great spot, but I just think this game means something. They need to put boot to hind parts in this game. And I think they're going to do it.
And Doc, y'all talked about it on First Look that Flowers is in a great spot. He's got a great price. And I think Andrews could benefit from him coming back as well. Tight end's kind of weak this week. He's somebody we know could have 2 touchdowns. He becomes a man interest with Lamar back.
National Tight End Week, right? Could definitely score. All right, listen, let me just do this real quick. Normally, I don't want to take seasonal questions here. I'll do it now. If you have seasonal questions, just put it in the Discord over at drroto.com. Here, I'm going to play Otten for sure. I would play Davis if Breece Hall is out. There you go. All right, but let's just real to Odunze.
Yes.
Are we overlooking him because he's done nothing the last couple of weeks?
But the way the Ravens played matches up with Odunze. So this would be the time. Odunze is the play in this. So I agree 100%. Odunze is definitely in play in this game.
Can we just throw this out? Okay, Lamar, Henry, Flowers, Odunze, Colston, Loveland. Can I stack the crap out of this game?
I think
you
so.
could, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. I will do more of maybe Lamar, Henry, and bring it back with Odunze, and I'll leave it at that. That will be.
All right, Swami, is it too risky for you to do what I just said?
Not in this game. I think this can have some points. I think the Bears will have to throw the ball, and I think those are the guys who I like the most as far as being able to take advantage of some of the Ravens' weakness.
I'm with you, Willie, that I think what I'm just threw out there is risky. But I think I'm with Swami. It feels like it's good risk because if there's a game that can blow him to 60 points, I think this is the game. I think this game could go to 60.
Well, yeah, if you're doing a game stack, but it's not going to be because I like so many other plays in other games. I'm gonna take 3, or I just might do Lamar and Flowers and leave out Henry when I leave Henry out. So. But Henry will be most of the lineups.
It feels like this game, Cowboys, Broncos, and then right behind that, maybe that Eagles Giants game.
Could blow up.
Yeah.
I even think the Buccaneers Saints could blow up.
That's the game that
the Saints are the question.
Well, all right. Texans are playing the 49ers. Can you believe the Texans are 3-point favorites? That makes no sense to me. So let's just talk about this. I don't think there's any play in this game for the Texans outside of maybe Jalen Noel. I guess there's Hutchinson. I guess there's Jaden Higgins.
I disagree. All right, there's one play in this game that's going to be in a lot of my lineup.
For Houston?
Yes.
Who?
Mr. Schultz. It's going to be in a lot of my lineup.
Chasing last week's points?
I'm not chasing. I've been playing Mr. Schultz for a little bit, and without when he don't have his number one receiver, that's his blanket. And Mr. Schultz in this matchup right here, yes, I love Mr. Schultz at 3,300. Schultz and Cotton and K-Dot is my favorite tight ends on the slate.
Schultz in a good spot, Doc. I think you should consider him. He's definitely.
Listen, I'm telling you,
everybody else is out. He's going to get
the targets.
I'm just telling you the following. The 49ers are better against tight ends than you think. And I'm saying I'm open. I think Schultz is fine. I love Kate Otten. I love Loveland. I love Goddard. I'll let somebody else chase the points because I don't even know if they're going to score a touchdown.
Whoa. See, let me say this now. First of all, you're being disrespectful. Number one, but number two is
I'm not disrespectful.
No. I mean, listen. Schultz is definitely a play in this game. When they don't got their top dog, listen, this guy is going to get fed. And it's and you can keep saying the matchup. I just saw last week the tight end for Atlanta. Because remember, they don't got their middle linebacker anymore. He's out.
So let's ask, is Schultz not going to be 20% owned?
I don't care what he's not going to be on. I like Schultz.
I think he should be on this slate, yes.
Swami, is Jalen Noel going to be over-owned?
No.
What percent? Give me a number. I know you're not good at this, but give me a number.
I think he'll probably be around, say, somewhere between 8 and 12. I don't think he'll be over-owned.
8 or 12 is a lot.
Yeah, I don't think over. I mean, that's because of his price and nobody's there. Like, once you rule Nico out, folks are going to go there for some value. He's been the person getting all the targets. Maybe Hutchinson would be last or somebody else like that. But he's been the guy. So that's where I think the ownership would go because they're going to have to throw it.
So, look, I'm just going to give you my expertise here. I would absolutely play Jalen Noel in a seasonal league. I will fade him in DFS. If it costs me my million, I lose my million.
What about the? I want to say this to add to Wall's point, Doc. I don't think you were disrespecting Mr. Schultz because I see your concern, but I will say that they've given up double-digit points to the tight end position consecutive weeks, going back to McBride, Strange, Otten, Pitts. So it's not just going back to Schultz. Is the fact that that's where you've been able to kind of move the ball against San Francisco. So
Here's what I want to be. I don't want to be in the lowest scoring game on the slate.
I
This
agree.
game could be a 40.
That's what me and you on the same page, Doc. I'm right here.
I
with you.
agree, but at 3,300,
I like touchdowns, Willie.
at 3,300, he's mispriced.
He is mispriced. He is mispriced.
He is mispriced.
It's like they didn't even watch Monday's game.
Yeah. And I watched Monday's game, and listen, and at 3,300, if you're not going to take 18 points, I will. I will take 18 points at 3,300. I am not looking at that, especially when he gets 12 to 13, 10 targets. He gets peppered.
Look, Permar, you're not wrong. He is the nut punt. It just feels that if he's 12%, I don't want that bag of nuts. I don't want that bag of nuts. All right, let's get to Willie's favorite game, the Bucks against the Saints. Now, let me throw out something. Swami, before you give me the look, do you know Trevor's favorite cheap quarterback this week?
Let me
Did you hear that? That was the Rattler.
Let me guess.
Spencer Rattler.
The Rat Man.
So what do you think? Can you buy into this game?
It's not that I can't buy into the game per se. I just feel like I could see this divisional game being one of them games where we talking about Mr. Group Pay in there kicking his behind off and going back and forth with a ridiculous 4 or 5 field goal game because they're just scrapping it out of there. We can't remember Baker has done well, I think, playing down there. I think that's with his guys. He's going with a group of guys. His best receiver right now is still a little banged up. I could see it being a little bit of a scrap. That's the only reason. It's either a scrap or it couldn't shoot out, yes, but it depends on the Rat Man who's 14 points in this series so far, and that's about what he averages each week. It doesn't scream tournament takedown. It's a good shot, but it's only if you see him going deep to Rashid. It's only if you see him hitting Olave a bunch and him just going for 3 or 4 touchdowns. But if you don't see that, I would stay away.
Willie, you can't run on Tampa. You have to throw on Tampa. I think this game could shoot out. I do. I think it can shoot out.
Listen, Olave, that's why Olave is almost a lock button for me on this slate. A funnel-based team, and he get to talking. But the thing that I like the last 2 games, he's getting the deeper looks. Everything was just, like short targets, but now his air yards is averaging 19 and 12 yards the last 2 games. So the ball is going deeper to Olave. That's Tampa's weakness right there. And they're going to blitz him. And it's going to be open on a blitz like this. So I just think that Olave is a great player in this game. I mean, that's my favorite player for the Saints. And I love Kadon and I love Rashad White in this game. And what I like about it is people have seen what his matchups has been crappy the last 4 games. He's finally got a matchup that I think he will eat, and I love that he gets to talk. I love Rashad White in this game.
I love Baker. I love Ibuka. I love Otten, Tez Johnson. I think Tampa could put up 40. I think Tampa could put up 40, Swami.
Tez is my favorite play, 4,300. Get him in there, folks. He's starting to emerge. He's doing it all. Deep, over the middle, short, intermediate, tunnel screens, bubble screens. He is looking like a go-to guy. He's starting to emerge in this offense. And with the injuries, look for him to get a leap in a little bit more. 4,300, he scored in the last 2 weeks. He's a play, especially with the running back.
Is Tez going to be overlooked, Swami, because people are going to be looking at Otten, maybe they're looking at Ibuka, or is Tez going to be owned more and people are going to forget Ibuka at that price?
I don't think he's a mystery anymore. I've been talking about him for a couple of weeks, Doc. I think that, folks have seen what he did. He's made a couple plays in prime time, but I still think he, is in a decent enough spot where you can take a shot with him at 4,300, especially the way we're talking about constructing the lineups. But I'm not interested in right now in as much as that New Orleans side. I'm gonna have to talk myself into it after listening to y'all, Doc. I mean, we are going out on a ledge talking about them putting up some points. Olave
Really?
looks good for
Are you
sure.
on
He
dope?
said,
Irma
he
wants to know if you're on dope.
I guess I'm on some dope in this game because I'm telling you, you're gonna regret what you just said. You disrespectful rascal. I'm telling you, Rashad White's gonna get it in this game. He's gonna get it in this game.
All right, 2 more games here. So Denver couldn't have looked any worse, guys. I mean, really bad. Giants should have won that game. 26-8 in the middle of the 4th quarter or something like that. I don't know. And then Bo Nix feels like he's like Joe Montana or John Elway with repeated drives. Now you go up against Dallas, who Dallas in the beginning of the year was playing zone coverage. Now, over the last week, they decided, hey, let's do some man coverage. Bo Nix, Sutton, Franklin, Mims, this could get ugly early, Swami. This could be a back and forth game here. Are you going to be in on this game?
Of course, I love it. You missed Mr. Ingram, Doc. I know you must have been holding him, and you must have kept him tucked away for yourself. I think he's in a great spot. We're talking tight ends. He hasn't quite broken out yet. He's still kind of, a man of interest. We know that you can, likely go to the tight end against the Cowboys. So I like him a lot. Then on the other side, nobody's really talking about the Cowboys this weekend. We've seen the Broncos be a little bit vulnerable, especially at tight end and some of the other spots on the field. I think the Cowboys are going to be able to move the ball even on the road in Denver. So I think this could be a scrap, and this has the potential to shoot out, even if it's close and going into the second half. I think we can get fantasy goodness out of this.
Willie, is Pickens a play? Is Javonte revenge narrative a play? Nobody's mentioning this revenge narrative.
But nobody's run against Denver though. Denver's been stout against the run. You're gonna have to, believe it or not, pass on them. So I'm more on the Denver side, to be honest with you, because the Dallas is struggling with quarterbacks on the running quarterbacks. And that's one thing that he does do. They struggle against running quarterbacks. It's a struggle bus. Now I know that they're in play. Like I said, if I'm playing the receivers, so the receivers you definitely could play in this game. But I just think that on this side, I think Sutton and the guy that people ain't talk about that eats up the kind of coverage that Dallas does is Marvin Mims. Just like I said, Mims last week, and he had 15 points at his price point. And he could have had a more in that last game. I'm just saying. So I definitely like the Denver pieces here. I'm talking about the passing pieces. I'm not playing that running back. Not on this slate. Not only no, but hell no.
Doc, while my good buddy is right, they haven't necessarily been able to run, but it doesn't mean they haven't been able to have some fantasy success. Hampton had 24 points. Barkley was able to get to almost 18 last week. Scatterboo had 18. And they had this Tracy guy break one for about 30 yards last week as well. So they gave up a little bit. So you can, Javonte in a revenge narrative, I think you would have to consider that. I think I would. I think they would like to maybe let him get in the end zone. I think you talk about props. Folks are talking about who to take for a touchdown. I would take this guy for any time touchdown.
All right. Look, you know how much I love revenge narratives. I live for them. I do.
I just think with the running backs on this slate, though, that's why.
But you beat Denver in 2 ways. You run the ball, like Swami said, and you throw the ball to a tight end, like Jake Ferguson, which nobody mentioned. Nobody mentioned Jake Ferguson. You can't throw on Surtain. I mean, even though Lamb is pretty darn good, Pickens is in play, but I think the 2 best Cowboy plays are Ferguson and Javonte.
But not at Fergie at $6,000. No, thank you.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, at $6,000, he's priced up. No, not for a catch in fall guy. No, thank you.
No, thank you. All right. Here's one. I think we got one more to go before we start getting to the cheap bastard play and the stacks. Titans and Colts, guys. You know the Colts are dropping 4 touchdowns in this bad boy. At least 4. 4. Is Jonathan Taylor getting another 3, Swami?
Doc, I think it was the great philosopher Tupac Shakur that said, "How many players down the ride for me? Yay. I can't wait to get JT in a lineup. He is locked. He's at home. The Titans couldn't stop Willie, and that joker ain't ran a ball in 25 years. I'm telling you right now, JT is without. Don't overthink it. I know he's expensive. I get it. We hear that all the time. Don't overthink it. Take the 30, maybe more, and just move on. Figure out the rest of your lineup. He's in a heck of a spot. He's playing well. Offensive player of the year right now. He's rolling. So much so that I don't even know, even though they're in play, I don't even know if I want much of anybody else because JT's doing all the dirty work and the Titans are just not doing enough on the other side of the ball to make you interested in them, even though they're cheap and you might convince yourself to go, that way.
Well, look, I don't want Pittman. Tyler Warren's always in play. But Willie, let me ask you this. I know that you're going to give me the look. When the Colts are up 30-8 going into the fourth quarter, could we see Cam Ward in garbage time and all of a sudden the game is over and he threw 265 yards and 2 touchdowns and they lose this game 30-22 and all of a sudden Cam Ward is in a $1 million lineup?
See, I used to watch a show back in the day, and I used to watch it even though I wasn't born to the time. His name is Ward Cleaver. I will play Ward Cleaver of Leave It to Beaver over Cam Ward. Not only no, but hell no. That bastard won't be in one lineup. I promise you that. Cam Ward, he plays like he in jail. No, thank you.
All right. Do we like the Colts defense?
Yes.
And play.
So they're expensive, but I like the Colts defense a lot. No, we didn't talk about defense, but I like the Patriots defense as well. I think those two, they're pretty expensive. And then after that, you got to like the Niners with all of those folks missing on the Texans side of the ball. And even though they're somehow favored and they even like the Texans defense, I think the 49ers defense on play as well.
How about the Bengals?
Yes, because they're playing the Jets. I just,
you want a chalky Bengals defense?
No.
Are they chalky? I mean,
they're not in the best spot at 2,700 though. I think you got to consider them as well, depending on how you construct that lineup. But
what about Atlanta guys? Atlanta defense?
Yeah, I think Atlanta's defense. I know I got them a lot in season long that I picked them up.
Atlanta's definitely. Miami is. Everybody's in play against them right now
for sure. All right, Willie Walls. Here's $100 bill. Who's your stack?
Well, I'm going to go since Swami poo-pooed on my game. I'm going to go to the New Orleans game. The New Orleans game, like I told you. Excuse me. You asked me what's my stack?
Yeah.
Hey, no. I'm talking to Swami. The look that he's giving me on this, I don't.
Look at Swami. Look at the fans out there, the adoring public that loves you.
Yeah. So let's give a little. But I'm also going to give another. Let's give a little Olave. Let's get a little Rashad White, who you're disrespecting, and let's bring it back with Mr. Let's get Mr. Kate Otten in there too. I like Kate. Kate's one of my favorite players on the slate.
He is. Swami, what's your stack?
First, I'm gonna find a 50-cent game that I can put that stack in. But I think I like Ingram, Sutton, and Knicks. I'm gonna give you that one, but just so I'm not just being Captain Obvious here, I think I'm gonna give you a little sneaky one. I'm gonna go with Williams, Doomsday, and Loveland.
I'm gonna stay right where you are, Swami, and I'm gonna throw the kitchen sink in that bad boy. Lamar, Henry, Zay, Loveland, Odunze, throw it all in there. If the game explodes, that's where it's gonna happen.
Not mad with that, Doc.
All right, cheap bastard play of the week, Willie.
I got 3 for you. I'm gonna be greedy. I think I like coming back against Taylor Chimere Dyke.
I like him too.
I think he's very interesting. I like Marvin Mims going against Dallas, and the guy that and I'm just telling you, man, I like Dalton. I just like Dalton Schultz. I just think Dalton Schultz at 3,300. It's hard for me to get away from this dude, man. At that price point, it's hard to get away from Dalton Schultz in this price point.
Swami, who are your cheap bastard plays of the week?
It's usually Willie, but once he give them all, Doc, I think we can just talk to second. Not really sure what that was. That was just so bush league. Anyway, Doc, let me now find another cheap bastard. That was ridiculous. Anyway, I had some interest in Chig. It's something about a Kongwu. I feel like he's in a good a spot because first, the Colts have shown that you can at least, move a little bit over the middle, and he can't really do anything other than maybe hit the guy over the middle, and he throws a good ball there. So he becomes very interesting, especially if you can get double-digit targets.
All right, I'll give you two. Oh, this is interesting. Steve Gardner, DJ Moore coming back to Maryland. We went to school. All right, that's a reach.
So,
all right, let me give you two. One is the true cheap bastard play, Jahan Dotson. We talked about that before.
Yes.
The second one is George Kittle, 4,500. That feels criminal to me on National Tight End Day after the guy had a goose egg last week. How does he not find the end zone?
Yeah.
Just throw that out there.
Yeah, because McCaffrey is not going to have that free space to run like he did last week.
Right. So I kind of like him.
Yeah.
All right. Willie Walls. I need the balls to the walls call from Willie Walls. Who's the guy?
My balls to the walls call is going to be Marvin Mims. I like Marvin Mims in this week. I really do. I like. First of all, Marvin Mims will be 3%, sir. So shut your mouth. I don't even want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Marvin Mims, you poo-pooed on Marvin. That's the second straight week I mentioned Marvin Mims.
I love Marvin Mims.
No, I'm telling him to my counterpart on top over there on the right-hand side in the fishing hat.
All right, Swami, who's your Swami Says pick of the week?
I think Swami Says, Doc, I think I'm going to stick with my guy, Evan Ingram. There's something about him this week that I like. I think he's in a really good spot, and I'm thinking that I want to stick with him this week. I think Evan Ingram. It's my guy.
All right, my visionary play that I just really thought of today. I think Josh Allen to Khalil Shakir is going to feed some families. And we're overlooking it. We're overlooking a team that's supposed to score 27 points. Why am I not playing that?
And another one that is interesting is Franklin. Franklin in that Dallas game. I think either Mims or Franklin can do something that will set the slate on fire.
Do you see what King to Icon just put there? Kittle 2 TDs, Josh Allen 5 total TDs. Sounds crazy, but I don't think it's that crazy. That might be the crazy like the Fox pick of the week right there.
But I just want to know, when is that running back for Buffalo gonna wake back up? He has been quiet. He has been cheeks.
Cheeks.
This is a sneaky game.
The milk of the ass.
But
ass the milk.
This is a sneaky game for him, but I want caution. I want to throw the yellow flag. Not off of it, just yellow flag. I feel like while Mac Jones has maybe taken a step back, the Houston defense has been playing a little better.
So, Houston defense is good.
Yeah, it feels like we'll be seeing some kickers.
Yeah. All right. We're done here tonight. Tomorrow morning from 7 to 10 a.m., I'll be on Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio. Tomorrow about 9:15. Have you guys watched that show with Trevor, Danger, and Justin? That single entry show?
Yeah.
Sharp plays there. I think Danger won a lot of money watching that, being on that show. They did a lineup together, and Danger was like cashing in on that bad boy.
Right. And if you're here tonight, check that out. First look. I'm telling you, all week long, they're giving you what you need to get started. Even, recap, saying, the good, the bad, the ugly that we talk about, a few years ago, Doc. They've been doing, I think, putting out some great shows, and I've been benefiting, and I think you all should as well.
Absolutely. All right. And of course, Sunday morning, come to the Discord at drroto.com. We'll answer your questions. We'll get you ready for your seasonal leagues, for your prop bets, and of course, for your DFS lineups. All right. For Willie Walls, the Great Swame, and Dr. Roto, we tell you to be well and
take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.